The free DAW Tracktion 7 is getting a huge upgrade. I've also got the plugins worth checking out and the free plugins of the week all coming up. I'm Zane and welcome to the Home Studio Show. On this show, I do audio tech news and reviews to help you find new tools for your home studio. This show is available on YouTube and it's also available as a podcast from thehomestudioshow.com. And as usual, all of the links to everything I mentioned in this episode are in the description. So let's get into it. Now, first up in news, Tracktion have announced Waveform 11, also known as Waveform Free or Waveform Pro. So if you're still working with Tracktion T7 and you enjoy that workflow, you'll be able to upgrade to Waveform 11 for free, or also known as Waveform Free. I've been playing around with it a bit and I can't give out any details right now, but I can tell you that this is a big upgrade over Tracktion T7, and you should really love it. Of course, I'll have a full review and tutorials coming out once Waveform 11 is released. Next up in audio news is a cool piece of software called Matchering. The idea of Matchering is to help get your track sound like a reference track from a mastering standpoint. So if you're a rock band that kind of wants your track to sound similar to Green Day, you would insert your track as the target and whatever Green Day track as the reference. The algorithm of Matchering will go to work and match things like peak amplitude and stereo width, hopefully leaving you with a professional quality master track. I'm definitely looking at Matchering further and I'll have more content on it if I notice that it gets great results. I just need to play around with it a little bit more. A new virtual synth from DJ and producer Ummet Ozcan has been announced, and it's only going to cost you $1. Genesis Pro is going to be a premium synth plugin designed by Ummet Ozcan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a hybrid synth with 3 oscillators, and it will allow you to create a huge variety of sounds. It's set to be released on March 12th, 2020. More info can be found on the website. The link is in the description. Another free plugin has been released by Reflekt Audio, and this one is called Mouthin Off. The Mouthin Off virtual instrument contains over 100 authentic beatbox sounds that you can use in your musical productions royalty-free. It also has some onboard effects in the plugin so you can make the sounds your own. You can grab this free plugin from the Reflekt Audio website. The link's in the description. Next up in audio tech news is a new drum plugin from Together Audio, and this one is called Snare Drum. And as you probably guessed, this is all about the snare. It's an electronic snare drum maker with simple and expert editing options. You get 100 snare presets that are fully editable using the advanced controls. If you create electronic music and you want something more than your typical 808 snare, then this is for you. It's a pay-what-you-want plugin with a minimum of $10. Now, before we get into this week's plugins worth checking out, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this episode of the Home Studio Show, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and it helps so much. Now, let's get into the plugins worth checking out. And first up this week, we have Halcyon by SoundSpot. This is a saturation plugin that can go from smooth tape to warm tube and everything in between. The Halcyon plugin can breathe life into your productions. It has some quick start presets to help you get started. You can adjust as needed with the controls, and you can see your adjustments on the very large visual display. Let's listen to SoundSpot Halcyon in action on various sources. The next plugin worth checking out this week is Syntronik by IK Multimedia. The full version of Syntronik gives you 38 legendary synths and string machines like the ARP 2600, Roland Jupiters, Juno, many Moog synths, and so much more. You get 2,000 presets that will serve as an incredible starting point. And of course, there are onboard effects to help you take your sound to a whole other level. There's also a free version of Syntronik that's fully functional, and it includes 50 presets. Let's give it a listen now. Now it's time for the free plugins of the week, and first up is Omforce Symptohm Melohman PE. This is an easy-to-use synth plugin that has very few knobs to turn, but it does include 1,200 presets that will give you the same sounds as the paid-for version of this synth. So let's test it out now. The next free plugin of the week is IVGI Saturation from Klanghelm. IVGI can deliver very soft and subtle saturation that can work great on the master bus. It's also just as capable of delivering dense and dirty distortion effects to single tracks too. So let's test it out as both a master effect and on individual tracks. Click here for even more free VST plugins, or click down here to see what YouTube thinks you'll be interested in next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For the Home Studio Show, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.